The Tapestry of Fortune, a dance of luck and fate. In the quaint village of Eldergrove, nestled between the rolling hills and dense forests, the intricate weave of life presented itself in both serendipity and design. Time flowed gently here, with the echo of laughter and the aroma of blooming flowers saturating the air. Yet, beneath the idyllic surface, a battle raged between the forces of luck and the inevitability of fate. Alara, a spirited young woman, embodied the village's vivacity. With a head full of dreams and a heart brimming with curiosity, she often wandered into the whispering woods, where the trees told tales of adventure and mystery. Her imagination was boundless. She believed in the power of wishes, and that a simple act of kindness could tilt the scales in one's favor. One fateful day, while collecting wildflowers, Alara stumbled upon an ancient well, its stones covered in moss and shadowed by the heavy branches above. A sense of foreboding washed over her, but she was drawn to the glimmer of water at the bottom. Leaning closer, she whispered her deepest desire, to uncover the truth about the interplay of luck and fate. As the words left her lips, a sudden chill enveloped her, and the water rippled unnaturally, casting a spell of revelation. That night, as she lay beneath the stars, her mind whirled with thoughts of what she had witnessed. Little did she know, the universe was already setting its machinations in motion. As dawn broke, Alara embarked on a journey that would forever alter the tapestry of her existence. In her travels beyond Eldergrove, she encountered a myriad of individuals, each embodying the delicate balance between serendipity and destiny. There was Oswin, the jovial traveler who claimed luck was merely a game of chance, while Luna, a wise old woman, insisted that fate was the true weaver of their lives. Their debates ignited a fire within Alara, and she sought to explore these contrasting philosophies. One afternoon, while resting in a bustling market, a chance encounter with a beggar changed everything. The old man's weathered face bore the marks of countless trials, and yet his eyes sparkled with an unquenchable hope. He spoke of a time when fortune shifted with the turn of a card and how sometimes, fate intervened in the most unexpected ways. Intrigued, Alara listened intently as he shared tales of his once prosperous life, now reduced to a daily struggle. This encounter ignited a longing within her to delve deeper. Alara began documenting her thoughts and experiences, creating a chronicle of luck's fleeting nature versus fate's steadfast hand. It was a labor of love, yet also of confusion, as she navigated the interwoven paths of her own life. Each page revealed moments of coincidence, where luck seemed to smile down upon her, but also instances where fate had steered her toward the unavoidable. As the seasons changed, Alara returned to Eldergrove, carrying not only her writings but a newfound perspective. The village was hosting its annual festival, a celebration of life and unity, where individuals would share their stories of fortune and misfortune. This was the moment she felt destined to reveal her discoveries. Standing before her fellow villagers, Alara's heart raced. She spoke passionately about how every encounter and event is a stitch in a grand tapestry, intricate and unique. The words flowed from her, captivating her audience as she recounted the lessons learned from the strangers she had met. She highlighted the role of luck, a whimsical occurrence that could uplift or diminish, and the strength of fate, a guiding force that often faced life's chaos with tranquil acceptance. As applause erupted, Alara felt a surge of gratitude. She had woven her experiences into a narrative that resonated with her community. Yet, within her, a lingering question remained: was it truly possible to discern the line between luck and fate? Could one influence the other, or were they forever destined to dance together in an eternal waltz? Days passed, and the village thrummed with the afterglow of the festival. One evening, the ancient well called to Alara once more. As she approached, she noticed a shimmering light emanating from its depths, urging her to reflect. Peering into the water, she saw not only her own face but the faces of those she had met, each a testament to the impact of their choices and circumstances. In that moment of clarity, Alara grasped the essence of her journey. Luck was a breath of air, unpredictable yet invigorating, while fate was the ground upon which she stood, unwavering and constant. They were partners in the intricate dance of existence, each playing a pivotal role. With this revelation crystallized in her heart, Alara returned to the village. She dedicated her life to sharing her insights, encouraging her neighbors to embrace both luck's gifts and fate's lessons. Together, they embarked on a journey of self-discovery, understanding that life was not merely a series of random events but a tapestry of love, loss, and the beauty of uncertainty. In the years that followed, Eldergrove flourished, not merely as a village but as a community bound by the threads of shared experiences. Alara's writings inspired countless others to explore the delicate balance between chance and destiny, prompting a dialogue that would live on for generations. At the heart of Eldergrove, the ancient well stood as a monument to the interplay of luck and fate, a testament to the journey Alara embarked upon, a journey of courage, curiosity, and compassion. And as the sun set behind the hills, casting golden rays upon her beloved village, Alara smiled, knowing that every laughter, every tear, and every moment was a cherished stitch in the beautiful tapestry of life. The serendipitous thread, a tapestry of luck and fate. In a quaint village tucked between rolling hills and shimmering lakes, the lives of its inhabitants were intertwined by threads of destiny and chance. This small enclave, known as Eldoria, thrived on the belief that every individual was destined for greatness, though often cloaked in the attire of misfortune and serendipity. The villagers often gathered in the central square, sharing tales of how their lives had danced to the whims of fate, stories that would sometimes provoke laughter and at other times, tears. Among these villagers was a young woman named Alara, whose heart brimmed with ambition and a longing for something more than the mundane rhythm of village life. Alara was known for her insatiable curiosity, often wandering beyond the confines of Eldoria to seek answers to questions that plagued her mind. What if luck played a larger role in the tapestry of life than simply being a fleeting moment of chance? One sun-drenched afternoon, Alara stumbled upon an ancient, weathered book in the dusty corner of the village's library. The pages whispered secrets of luck intertwining with fate, exploring how moments of serendipity shaped the lives of many renowned figures throughout history. Inspired, she spent hours absorbed in the tales, each one fueling her desire to experience a twist of luck that would alter the course of her life. After weeks of deliberation, Alara made a bold decision. She would embark on a journey beyond Eldoria, driven by the hope that she might encounter her own stroke of fortune. The night before her departure, she stood atop the hill overlooking the village, her heart racing with anticipation. As the stars blinked into existence, she whispered a silent wish to the heavens, praying that the universe would guide her. The next morning, with little more than a satchel of provisions and an unwavering spirit, Alara set out. Her path led her through dense forests and vast meadows, each step bringing her closer to the unknown. Each day was an adventure, a tapestry of experiences woven together by moments of spontaneity and chance encounters. One fateful evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Alara met a stranger at a bustling marketplace in a neighboring town. His name was Kale, a traveler with a captivating aura and a smile that radiated warmth. Their conversation flowed effortlessly, as if they were old friends reunited after a long separation. Kale spoke of fate with a fervor that resonated with Alara's growing curiosity, sharing stories of the serendipitous events that had shaped his life. Encouraged by Kale's perspective, Alara felt a fire ignite within her. Perhaps it was not merely luck that dictated the course of one's life, but the choices made in response to those lucky moments. Inspired, she proposed a partnership. Together, they would explore the world, chasing adventures and seeking out the threads of fate that stitched their lives together. As the weeks turned into months, Alara and Kale found themselves entwined not just in adventure, but in a deeper bond. They traversed mountains, forded rivers, and braved storms, each experience reinforcing their belief in the power of shared moments. They discovered that each twist of luck was not simply an accident, but often the result of daring to embrace the opportunities that fate presented. Yet, as Alara reveled in her newfound freedom and companionship, a shadow lurked on the horizon. Kale, while charismatic and adventurous, carried a burden of secrets that weighed heavily on his heart. In moments of silence, Alara sensed a disquiet within him, a lingering uncertainty that contradicted his cheerful demeanor. One evening, under a sky blanketed with stars, Kale finally revealed the truth. He was on a quest to recover a lost artifact, believed to possess immense power over luck itself. The artifact, however, came with a curse, one that had ensnared his family for generations. Kale's journey was not merely an exploration, it was a race against time to break the cycle of misfortune that had plagued his kin. Alara's heart ached for him. The fates had intertwined their lives so closely that she felt compelled to help him in his quest. Together, they embarked on a perilous journey, facing trials that tested their courage and resolve. They encountered enigmatic figures and navigated through challenges that forced them to confront their deepest fears and insecurities. Each obstacle, though daunting, seemed to draw them closer, forging a bond founded on trust and shared purpose. As they neared the artifact, the challenges grew more formidable. They entered a labyrinthine cave, where echoes whispered forgotten tales of those who had sought the artifact before them, fate intertwining with countless lives in a tapestry woven with both hope and despair. Alara realized that this journey was about more than just the artifact, it was about understanding the delicate balance between luck and fate. They had both been fortunate to find each other, yet it was their choices that had led them to this moment. When they finally reached the artifact, it shimmered with an otherworldly glow, pulsating with energy. Yet, as Kale reached for it, Alara hesitated. The whispers of the cave seemed to warn her, revealing the dangers of manipulating fate. Did they have the right to wield such power? Could they navigate the consequences that might follow? In a moment of clarity, Alara made a choice. Instead of seizing the artifact, they would dispel its curse and release the hold it had over Kale's family, freeing them from the shackles of misfortune. Together, they performed a ritual, their combined intentions woven with hope and strength, casting aside the allure of power for the sake of freedom. As the artifact dissolved into a cascade of light, Alara felt a profound shift in the atmosphere. It was as if the threads of their lives had been rewoven, the tapestry now depicting a future unbound by past sorrows. Alara and Kale emerged from the cave, transformed not just by their adventures, but by the choices they had made together. They understood that fate and luck were not separate entities but rather two sides of the same coin, each reliant on the other. Their lives were now intertwined in a new tapestry, vibrant with possibilities and devoid of the burdens they had once carried. Returning to Eldoria, Alara realized that her journey was far from over. The villagers welcomed her back with open arms, eager for tales of her adventures. Yet, she found herself sharing not just stories of exotic lands, but of the deeper truths she had uncovered, that luck often disguised itself in the ordinary, and that fate lay in the choices made when faced with unexpected moments. As she spoke, she watched the villagers ignite with inspiration, their eyes sparkling with the realization that they, too, held the power to shape their destinies. Alara knew that her life was now woven with threads of countless stories, each one reflecting the ever-changing dance of luck and fate, a beautiful tapestry unfurling before her. In the heart of Eldoria, surrounded by cherished friends and family, Alara found contentment, a sensation that transcended mere luck. It was the joy of understanding her purpose, the realization that fate had brought her to the very place she was meant to be, and in that acknowledgement lay her true fortune. And so, the village continued to thrive, each life within it a unique thread in the grand tapestry of existence, forever intertwined by the indelible marks of luck and fate. The Dance of Destiny. In a quaint village nestled between rolling hills and lush forests, the tranquil essence of life was often punctuated by the whispers of fate and luck. Here, every inhabitant believed in the interplay of chance and destiny. They lived their lives with an unwavering faith that every event, whether fortuitous or fateful, was part of a grander design. Among them was Eleanor, a young woman whose vibrant spirit was matched only by her ferocious curiosity about the universe's mysteries. She could often be found wandering the verdant meadows, contemplating the invisible threads that bound her to the world. Eleanor had a particular fascination with the ancient legend of the Shimmering Stone, said to grant its possessor unparalleled luck. However, it also came with the caveat that one must alter their life's path significantly, a prospect that both excited and terrified her. One serene morning, while exploring the craggy cliffs overlooking the village, Eleanor stumbled upon a shimmering light emanating from a nook. As she drew closer, she discovered a radiant stone, pulsating with an ethereal glow. Heart racing, she recalled the tales told by the village elders. The shimmering stone was real. Without hesitation, she reached out, her fingers grazing the cool surface of the stone. In that instant, a profound sense of clarity washed over her. It felt as if the universe itself had acknowledged her presence, whispering secrets only she could hear. Eleanor soon realized that with the stone's power came responsibility. Over the next several weeks, her life transformed in ways she had never imagined. New opportunities manifested before her. She won contests she entered, met influential people, and her small garden thrived beyond her wildest dreams. Yet, as her fortune flourished, so too did the whispers of consequence. Within her heart, a seed of doubt began to grow. Was it truly luck that guided her, or was she merely a puppet dancing to the tunes of fate? As spring melted into summer, Eleanor's once simple existence morphed into a whirlwind of success and social gatherings. Yet, amidst the glamour, she felt an unsettling emptiness. It became increasingly evident that the more she relied on the stone, the more she drifted away from her authentic self. The village, filled with genuine chatter and camaraderie, seemed a distant memory, overshadowed by her newfound high society. One fateful evening, at a lavish soirée, Eleanor found herself surrounded by admirers, their eyes gleaming with envy. Yet as laughter echoed around her, she felt utterly isolated. It was then that a frail old woman approached, her eyes deep wells of wisdom. The woman sensed Eleanor's struggle and leaned in, her voice barely above a whisper, "Child, luck may open doors, but it is your heart that must walk through them. Do not forsake the beauty of your journey for glistening illusions." Those words struck a chord within Eleanor. That night, she took a long, introspective walk under the starlit sky, contemplating her choices. As she did, she realized that her happiness wasn't dependent on the stone or any fortune it bestowed, but rather on the connections she made and the authenticity of her experiences. The next day, Eleanor made a pivotal decision. Returning to the cliffs, she cradled the shimmering stone in her hand, its glow fading as she spoke. "I release you, for I no longer seek to change my fate with mere luck." With that, she cast the stone into the depths of the shimmering river below. A profound silence enveloped the area, and the air felt charged with new possibilities. Weeks passed, and Eleanor returned to her village life, embracing her garden and reconnecting with friends. Without the stone's influence, she faced challenges that once intimidated her. She learned to grow her own flowers from seeds, nurtured relationships with the villagers, and engaged in community activities that brought her immense joy. Her days were filled with laughter, genuine connection, and an understanding that fate often had a funny way of leading her where she needed to be. As the seasons changed, Eleanor blossomed in ways she never anticipated. She discovered the simple pleasures of life, the warmth of a shared smile, the comfort of friendship, and the beauty of the mundane. In her heart, she found a balance between luck and fate, realizing that life is a delicate dance between the two. In retrospect, she understood that true fortune wasn't about possessions, but rather about the richness of experiences and the love shared with those around her. Years later, as Eleanor sat in her garden under the golden glow of the setting sun, she had become a cherished member of her community, known for her kindness and unwavering spirit. The legend of the shimmering stone remained, but it was no longer the focal point of her story. Instead, it was the journey of self-discovery, the relationships she cultivated, and the profound understanding that her choices shaped her destiny. In the end, Eleanor learned that while luck could set the stage, it was fate, intertwined with her actions and intentions, that played the most significant role in the tale of her life. And as the stars shimmered overhead, she smiled, knowing that she had embraced her own dance of destiny. Whispers of Destiny. In the quaint village of Eldamore, where the sun kissed the horizon with hues of gold, fate and luck danced a delicate ballet. The villagers believed fervently in the intertwining of these two forces, each day a testament to their fragile balance. At the heart of Eldamore resided a woman named Alara, renowned for her inexplicable fortune. From finding lost treasures to averting disasters, her life felt like a canvas painted with strokes of luck. However, Alara was no stranger to the influence of fate. Each blessing she received seemed to carry an invisible thread, weaving her existence into the lives of others. One fateful morning, a traveling merchant named Dorian visited Eldamore. With his charismatic demeanor and piercing blue eyes, he captured the attention of the villagers. Yet, beneath his charming exterior lay a man burdened by a cursed past. Dorian had long since been haunted by a prophecy that foretold his downfall, a prophecy that seemed implacable. Alara and Dorian met at the village market, where the air was thick with the scent of spices and the laughter of children. As Dorian set up his stall, he spotted Alara admiring a delicate necklace. The moment their gazes met, a spark ignited, yet both felt the weight of inevitability lurking close. "Your luck serves you well, doesn't it?" Dorian remarked, his voice laced with intrigue. Alara smiled, a hint of mystery in her eyes. "Luck is merely the foresight of fate's design. We shape our destinies by the choices we make." Dorian pondered her words, his heart clenching at the thought of how choice often eluded him. He had been running from his fate, trying to reshape the prophecy that hung over him like a storm cloud. He found himself inexplicably drawn to Alara, seeing in her a glimpse of hope, a chance to rewrite his narrative. As the days turned into weeks, the bond between Alara and Dorian deepened. They shared stories under the star-studded sky, spoke of dreams and fears, and uncovered pieces of their souls. However, the shadow of Dorian's curse loomed large, threatening the fragile joy they had built. One evening, while wandering through an ancient forest, Alara stumbled upon an abandoned well. The villagers whispered of its mystical powers, claiming it could reveal the truth of one's fate. Drawn by an inexplicable urge, Alara looked into its depths. The water shimmered, and a vision unfolded, a glimpse of Dorian's fate entwined with hers, revealing a cataclysmic event that would change their lives forever. Fear gripped her heart as she revisited the well, desperate to alter what the vision foretold. She confided in Dorian, who listened intently, his face pale with the realization that fate could not be evaded. Perhaps, he suggested, we can change the course of our paths together. Determined to alter their destiny, Alara and Dorian embarked on a quest to unearth the origin of Dorian's curse. They traveled to distant lands, consulting wise sages and uncovering ancient texts. Each revelation challenged their understanding of luck and fate, leading them to confront their own fears and desires. In a mystical realm inhabited by ethereal beings, they discovered the truth. Dorian's fate was tethered to a heart-wrenching choice made by his ancestor, a decision that rippled through time, intertwining the lives of those who followed. To break the curse, Dorian had to face the consequences of that choice, a trial that would demand the ultimate sacrifice. With heavy hearts, they returned to Eldamore, where the villagers sensed a shift in the air. As the day of reckoning approached, Alara and Dorian prepared for the inevitable. The night before the trial, they shared their final moments, their love shining brighter than any fear that threatened to consume them. "Whatever happens tomorrow, know that you are my lucky charm," Dorian whispered, his voice thick with emotion. Alara smiled through her tears, knowing that their fates had become irrevocably linked. They faced the dawn, ready to embrace whatever awaited them, their intertwined destinies a testament to the power of love over the inevitable. The trial tested Dorian's resolve as he confronted the choices of his ancestor, illuminating the complexity of fate and the possibility of redemption. Through courage and love, he emerged victorious, breaking the cycle that bound him to despair. Eldamore erupted in jubilation, but for Alara and Dorian, the real victory lay in their unbreakable bond. As they stood together, hand in hand, the villagers marveled at the transformation of Dorian. No longer a man burdened by a curse, he embraced life with a heart full of hope. Alara's luck and Dorian's newfound freedom interwove into a single narrative, a story of resilience where love triumphed over despair. Years passed, and Eldamore flourished. Alara and Dorian became the heart of the village, embodying the harmony of luck and fate. Their legacy taught others that while fate may design the path, it is choice that navigates the terrain. With every sunset, they gathered the villagers to share tales of their journey. Laughter filled the air, and the children danced under the twinkling stars, believing in the magic of their story. Luck and fate, they learned, were not adversaries but partners in the grand tapestry of life. Answer, the whispers of destiny echoed through Eldamore, a reminder that while the threads of fate may be woven with uncertainty, love and courage can shape even the most daunting of futures. In the end, it is not the hand we are dealt but how we play it that defines our lives, a timeless lesson in luck and fate, forever etched in the hearts of those who dare to believe. The Paradox of Fortune, a Dance with Destiny. In the heart of a bustling metropolis, where the cacophony of life intertwined with the silence of dreams, lived Elena, a woman whose existence revolved around the intricate balance of luck and fate. She was a curator at the City Museum, a place where stories of history and artistry intermingled, much like the strands of her own life. Elena often pondered the peculiarities of her existence. Some days brought with them serendipitous encounters that seemed orchestrated by the hands of fortune. She would find a rare artifact while organizing the archives, or a chance meeting with a renowned artist would spark a collaboration that transformed her career. Yet, on other days, she would feel the sharp teeth of misfortune sink into her soul, as she faced unexpected setbacks, a broken relationship, a failed project, or the haunting specter of self-doubt. One rainy evening, she returned home feeling particularly despondent. The weight of unfulfilled dreams weighed heavily on her shoulders. As she sat on her balcony, watching the raindrops race down the glass, her mind drifted to an elderly man she had met in the museum earlier that week. He had spoken of karma and the invisible threads that connect the fabric of fate. His words teased her intellect, igniting a flicker of curiosity about the interplay between her choices and the destinies that befell her. Intrigued by the idea of reclaiming agency over her life, she decided to embrace a radical approach. She crafted a plan. For 1 month, she would trust in the universe, surrendering herself to fate while actively seeking opportunities disguised as challenges. On the first day of her experiment, she encountered Victor, a chance acquaintance at a coffee shop. His charm was palpable, yet it was his enthusiasm for life that captivated her. They struck up a conversation, and Elena found herself sharing her dreams and fears with a stranger. Their connection deepened over the weeks, blossoming into a partnership that ignited unprecedented creativity within her. As Elena and Victor collaborated, she discovered a newfound passion for storytelling through art, intertwining visuals with narratives that touched people's hearts. They held an exhibition titled, Interwoven Lives, exploring the serendipity of human connections. The exhibition attracted a diverse audience, sparking dialogues about chance and consequence. However, just as life seemed to tilt in her favor, a fateful twist shattered her burgeoning happiness. Victor was offered a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to exhibit his work overseas, and with it came the prospect of leaving everything behind. Torn between selflessness and the fear of losing the profound connection they shared, Elena felt the pull of fate's merciless grip tightening around her. In the weeks leading up to Victor's departure, Elena grappled with her emotions. Their conversations grew heavy with unspoken words, and the once light-hearted moments were overshadowed by the looming shadow of farewell. On the eve of his departure, they sat on her balcony, the city lights flickering like stars in the vast expanse of the night. "Sometimes, I wonder if we're just players in a cosmic game, racing against the odds," Victor mused, gazing into the horizon. Elena turned to him, a tear escaping her eyelid. "But what if we have the power to shape our own fortunes? What if luck isn't random but a reflection of how we respond to life?" Their conversation spiraled into a profound exploration of existence. As dawn broke, they found solace in the idea that while fate may dictate their paths, love and courage could sculpt their destinies. With a heavy heart, Elena encouraged Victor to pursue his dreams, believing that their bond would transcend the barriers of distance. Months passed, and Elena poured her sorrow into her art. Each brushstroke became a cathartic release, a means of processing the profound changes in her life. She channeled her experiences into the canvas, crafting a series of paintings that depicted the delicate dance between life's unpredictability and the resilience of the human spirit. In the depths of her solitude, Elena realized that while fate had taken Victor away, it had also opened doors to her own self-discovery. She began to travel, engaging with artists from diverse backgrounds, each with their own tales of misfortune and rebirth. Through these encounters, she discovered that her story was not isolated. It was part of a larger tapestry woven from the strands of countless lives. One day, while exhibiting her work in a gallery across town, a familiar face emerged from the crowd. Victor had returned. The moment their eyes met, time seemed to freeze. He approached her, a mixture of vulnerability and exhilaration reflected in his gaze. "I thought about you every day," he confessed. "Every brushstroke felt incomplete without your spirit alongside it." Elena smiled through her tears. "And I found my voice in your absence. We've both grown, haven't we? The dance of fate has led us back together." As they embraced, they understood that their journey was not merely about serendipity, but about the courage to forge connections, to heal, and to rise from adversity. Together, they embarked on a new chapter, not dictated by circumstances, but defined by their shared promise to navigate the complexities of life together. In the end, Elena came to realize that luck and fate were not adversaries, but partners in the grand ballet of existence. Through the intertwining threads of their lives, she learned that embracing the unpredictability of fate with an open heart could lead to a symphony of possibilities. Their story continued, a vibrant testament to the power of love and resilience amidst the unpredictable dance of fortune. As the sun set over the city, casting a golden hue across the skyline, Elena felt a surge of gratitude. In the delicate balance of luck and fate, she had discovered her true self, a creator of her own destiny, forever dancing to the rhythm of life's intricate melody. The tapestry of fate, weaving threads of luck. In a quaint village nestled between verdant hills and a glistening river, there lived a woman named Alara. With hair the color of autumn leaves and eyes that sparkled like the stars, she was known for her curious spirit and unyielding dedication to her craft, weaving. Alara had a modest loom at her home, where she created intricate tapestries that told the stories of her ancestors, woven with threads of color and meaning. Despite her talents, Alara often felt the weight of the world on her shoulders. The villagers revered her work, yet she struggled to find fulfillment in a life governed by the whims of luck and fate. Was her success a product of her skill, or merely a stroke of good fortune? The question gnawed at her, sowing seeds of doubt. One crisp autumn day, as the leaves danced in the wind, an old woman appeared at Alara's door. With skin as wrinkled as ancient parchment and a gaze filled with ancient wisdom, she introduced herself as Mira, a traveler from a distant land. The old woman spoke of the unseen forces that shape our lives, of luck that comes and goes like the tides, and fate that, once revealed, can bind or liberate us. Intrigued, Alara invited Mira into her humble home. As they shared stories over steaming cups of herbal tea, Mira presented Alara with a small, ornate box. Within this box lies a thread of destiny, she said. It is said that whoever weaves with it shall uncover the true essence of their fate. Alara's heart raced with excitement and trepidation. What if this thread could alter her life? What if it was just a manifestation of hope? The next day, with trembling hands, Alara began to weave with the mystical thread. As it intertwined with her usual fibers, visions flooded her mind, glimpses of her future, possibilities unfurling like petals of a flower. She saw herself creating tapestries that not only adorned walls but also touched the hearts of those who gazed upon them. She envisioned a gallery filled with her work, where her stories would resonate with people from all walks of life. Yet, amidst the gleam of potential, shadows lingered. Alara also saw failures, moments of despair that accompanied her triumphs. The duality of luck and fate was stark. Could she accept the fragile nature of fortune, where every rise was met with a fall? As days turned into weeks, Alara became consumed by her visions, her loom echoing the rhythm of her heart's desires. However, as she immersed herself deeper into her craft, she began to withdraw from the world outside. The villagers noticed her absence and grew concerned. Alara's once vibrant laughter faded into silence, her vibrant spirit dimmed by the weight of expectation. One evening, as twilight cloaked the village in a soft glow, Mira returned. Sensing the turmoil within Alara, she placed a comforting hand on her shoulder. Fate is not a destination, dear child, but a journey, she whispered. Embrace the serendipity of life, for luck often favors those who dare to participate in their own unfolding. Alara pondered Mira's words, realizing she had become so preoccupied with envisioning the future that she had overlooked the beauty of the present. Taking a deep breath, Alara decided to spin a tapestry that not only reflected her dreams but also her experiences. She invited the villagers to witness her process, allowing them to share their stories, their hopes, and their fears. Each thread woven into her masterpiece resonated with the collective heartbeat of the village. Colors of joy, shades of sorrow, and threads of courage converged to form a tapestry that was not solely hers but belonged to everyone. As the tapestry took shape, Alara felt an inexplicable lightness within her. No longer was she weaving in solitude, she was weaving a community, creating a narrative that celebrated the unpredictability of life. The day of the unveiling arrived, and the entire village gathered in anticipation. When Alara revealed her creation, gasps of wonder filled the air. The tapestry gleamed with stories that spoke of resilience, laughter, and the omnipresence of luck intertwined with fate. At that moment, Alara understood. Luck is a mere whisper in the grand tapestry of existence, while fate is the deliberate act of weaving those whispers into something tangible and beautiful. The threads of her life, once seen as isolated incidents, now formed a magnificent design, a true testament to the interconnectedness of all experiences. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden hue over the village, Alara felt liberated. She had finally embraced the delicate dance between luck and fate. From that day forward, she continued to create, not just for herself but for all who sought to understand their own paths. The loom became a sanctuary, a place where stories could be shared and destinies intertwined. In time, Alara became a mentor to aspiring artisans, guiding them to weave their own tapestries while celebrating their unique journeys. She taught them that life is filled with unpredictability, that each thread, whether of joy or sorrow, contributes to the grandeur of existence. The villagers found new hope, inspired by Alara's realization that fate is crafted not through avoidance of misfortune but through the embrace of life in its fullest spectrum. Years later, as Alara sat surrounded by students, she recounted her tale of the mystical thread, of luck and fate intertwined. Though she had aged, her spirit remained ever youthful, ignited by the passion to create and connect. She looked at the vibrant tapestries adorning the walls, each a reflection of a life lived with intention, a celebration of chance and choice. In the end, Alara understood that life's true artistry lies not in the certainty of tomorrow but in the beauty of the unknown. And as she continued to weave, she did so with the knowledge that every thread, regardless of its origin, held the power to shape a destiny. In the delicate interplay of luck and fate, she found her liberation, a reminder that life is a tapestry waiting to be woven, one thread at a time. Fortunes entwined, the dance of luck and fate. In the bustling heart of a city that thrived on ambition and dreams, two lives were about to intertwine in ways neither could fathom. Amelia, an aspiring artist, spent her days capturing the vibrant essence of the world on canvas, pouring her soul into every stroke. Yet, despite her talent, the recognition she craved felt ever elusive. Meanwhile, Gabriel, a pragmatic financial analyst, walked the well-trodden path of success, yet he felt an inexplicable void, an absence of true purpose. One rainy afternoon, their worlds collided in the most unexpected manner. Amelia, shielding her canvases from the downpour, stumbled into a quaint cafe where Gabriel happened to be lost in thought over spreadsheets. As she entered, a gust of wind sent her sketchbook tumbling from her grasp. Gabriel, ever the gentleman, swiftly retrieved it, his eyes alighting on her sketches. A spark ignited between them, a fleeting moment that would ultimately alter their destinies. As they conversed, the rhythm of their lives began to sync. Gabriel was captivated by Amelia's passion and vibrancy, while she found comfort in his calm, analytical mind. They shared stories of their struggles, dreams, and how fate seemed to play tricks on them. Amelia spoke of her belief that art was a manifestation of luck, while Gabriel posited that fate was simply the universe's way of guiding one's steps. Weeks turned into months as their friendship deepened, and they soon discovered a beautiful synergy. Gabriel began to attend Amelia's exhibitions, and she, in turn, found herself stepping into the world of finance, learning to navigate the complexities that had once seemed daunting. They inspired each other to break free from their limits, to challenge the very notions of luck and fate that had once held them captive. One fateful evening, amidst a backdrop of twinkling city lights, the two shared a profound conversation. "Do you think we create our own luck?" Gabriel pondered, swirling his drink. Amelia, gazing out at the stars, replied, "Perhaps luck and fate are two dances in a grand ballet, leading us toward our destiny, but we must choose to step onto the stage." Their dialogue lingered in the air, echoing the complexities of existence, how choices intertwine with chance to create the fabric of life itself. But life, with all its unpredictable twists, was not done with them yet. As Amelia prepared for her most important exhibition, she received devastating news. Her studio had been vandalized, leaving her with a mere fraction of her work intact. Despair washed over her, the thread of hope she had woven with Gabriel threatened to unravel. It was in this moment of darkness that Gabriel proved to be her beacon. He rallied support, turning the cafe where they first met into a makeshift gallery, showcasing her remaining pieces alongside stories of resilience. The night of the exhibition, the air was thick with anticipation and nervous energy. As guests filtered in, Amelia felt a profound sense of vulnerability. Yet, as Gabriel stood by her side, her confidence surged. The evening unfolded like a carefully orchestrated performance, with each visitor captivated by Amelia's art and the narrative of her journey. In that moment, fate seemed to smile upon her, and as the night drew to a close, offers of representation from esteemed galleries began to roll in. Yet, even as success beckoned, Amelia questioned the foundation of her newfound fortune. What if it's just luck? What if it all fades? She confided in Gabriel. He replied with unwavering conviction, "Luck may open doors, but it is your passion, your perseverance, that will keep them open." With those words, Amelia understood that while fate may have cast the die, it was her choices that would determine the outcome. As the months progressed, their lives continued to flourish, both together and as individuals. Gabriel, inspired by Amelia's journey, began to explore his own passions, eventually launching a financial consultancy aimed at supporting artists and creatives. Their relationship blossomed, a partnership that transcended mere romance, evolving into a profound collaboration. Yet, as they stood on the precipice of their dreams, a sudden storm loomed on the horizon. Gabriel received an unexpected job offer from a prestigious firm in another city, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that could elevate his career. The news sent shockwaves through their lives. The choice before him was clear yet excruciating: embrace the future he had worked tirelessly for, or remain with Amelia, who had become his muse and his heart. That evening, as they lingered in the half-light of their favorite spot by the river, Gabriel revealed the opportunity that awaited him. The question hung heavy in the air: would he choose career over love? Amelia, aligning herself with the values they had nurtured, responded with grace and understanding. This is not just your decision, it's a chapter in both of our stories. We can choose to weave our paths together, or trust that life will guide us where we are meant to be. After a pause that felt eternal, Gabriel took her hands in his, the connection between them palpable. I believe in us, he said, but I also understand that we can't stifle our individual journeys. They spent hours discussing possibilities, uncertainties, and the delicate balance between ambition and love. Finally, they agreed to take a leap of faith. Gabriel would accept the job but maintain his commitment to stay connected. They would let fate unfold, trusting that their bond could withstand the test of distance and time. Months passed, and as seasons changed, so did their lives. Gabriel thrived in his new role, but the physical distance between them began to create invisible barriers. Communication dwindled, and the echoes of their laughter, once vibrant, faded into long, silent pauses. Each missed call felt like a drop of chance lost, and Amelia found herself questioning the very essence of their union. One late evening, with the city lights flickering below her balcony, Amelia picked up her brush once again, pouring her heart onto the canvas. What is luck without love? What is fate without choosing each other? She whispered to herself. The stroke of the brush became cathartic, and in that moment, she realized that she had to share her feelings with Gabriel, to remind him of the foundation upon which they had built their dreams. She composed a letter, an open invitation to reconnect and recommit to their shared journey. Let's redefine our luck, let's reshape our fate, she wrote, pouring her heart into every word. With a heavy heart, she sent it off, unsure of what awaited her. Days turned into weeks as she waited, each moment laden with anxiety. Then, one fateful morning, a response arrived, echoing through her heart. Gabriel confessed that he had been struggling too, caught in a whirlwind of expectations and responsibilities. But he had never stopped thinking about her, about them. Amelia, you are my muse, he wrote. I want to reforge our connection, to make our luck meaningful. Reunited by their mutual yearning, they began to explore a new dynamic, where their ambitions thrived alongside their love. They embraced the ebb and flow of life, realizing that luck and fate were not mere forces acting upon them, but rather energies they could sculpt through their choices and commitment to one another. Their journey was not without its challenges, but each obstacle became a testament to their resilience. They frequently revisited the cafe where it all began, sharing dreams and fears, carving out time amidst their hectic schedules. Together, they transformed their relationship into a partnership that honored both their individual aspirations and their profound love. As the years rolled on, luck and fate danced through their lives, intertwining in a mesmerizing spiral of experiences. Amelia's art flourished, earning accolades and exhibitions worldwide, while Gabriel's consultancy blossomed, uplifting countless artists. They found joy in their journey, reveling in the unpredictability of life, knowing that the beauty lay not in controlling their destiny, but in embracing it with open hearts. Standing hand in hand on a scenic hill overlooking the city where it all began, they reflected on their journey. We've created our own luck, haven't we? Gabriel mused, glancing at Amelia. She smiled, her heart full of warmth. Yes, and we've let fate guide us toward the extraordinary. In that moment, they understood that life was not merely about luck or fate, but about the choices they made together. They had forged a path of their own, where love, passion, and dreams intertwined in a beautiful tapestry of existence, one that would continue to evolve as long as they chose to dance together. Threads of Fortune, the Dance of Luck and Fate. In the heart of a bustling metropolis, where dreams wove through the air like strands of silk, two lives intersected in a tapestry of luck and fate. Clara, an aspiring painter, spent her days weaving emotions onto canvas, while Nathan, a pragmatic architect, meticulously carved his path through the rigid structures of reality. Both were bound by a singular belief, that life was a delicate balance of serendipity and destiny. As Clara meticulously layered paint, she often pondered the mysteries of her existence. Each stroke was an exploration of chance, capturing the fleeting moments that defined her. Her art exuded an ethereal quality, as if whispers of fate danced within each piece. Yet, despite her talent, she grappled with the burden of self-doubt, often questioning whether her passion would ever lead her to success. On the other side of the city, Nathan thrived within the confines of structure and predictability. His designs were celebrated for their ingenuity, yet he felt the weight of monotony pressing upon his shoulders. Each skyscraper he erected was a testament to determination, yet he yearned for something beyond the tangible, a brush with the unpredictable, a thrill of the unexpected. One fateful afternoon, while Clara showcased her latest collection at a local gallery, Nathan wandered in, seeking a respite from the rigorous demands of his profession. Drawn to a vibrant painting that seemed to pulsate with life, he stood transfixed, captivated by the swirling colors that spoke to his dormant imagination. "What do you see?" Clara's voice cut through his reverie, nuanced with curiosity and a hint of vulnerability. Nathan turned, momentarily taken aback by her intensity. "I see possibilities," he replied, his voice steady yet tinged with awe. "It feels as if the canvas is alive, as if it has a story to tell." Intrigued, Clara smiled, feeling a spark igniting within her. They engaged in a rich conversation, unraveling the complexities of art and architecture, discovering an unexpected kinship in their contrasting worlds. As the evening unfolded, the gallery grew dimmer, but their connection flourished, revealing the interwoven threads of their destinies. Days turned into weeks, and Clara and Nathan found solace in one another's presence. Their relationship blossomed like a wildflower in the cracks of a concrete jungle, a serendipitous encounter that neither had anticipated. Underneath the surface of their exchanges, they both sensed an invisible hand guiding their paths, a force greater than mere coincidence. One rainy evening, as they strolled through the city, Clara shared her struggles as an artist, expressing her frustration with the chaotic nature of her life. "Sometimes, I feel as though I'm adrift, waiting for luck to favor me," she confided. Nathan, ever the realist, responded thoughtfully, "Luck may be a fleeting moment, but fate is a persistent companion. Perhaps it's not about waiting but about creating your own opportunities." With renewed vigor, Clara embarked on a new artistic journey, inspired by Nathan's words. She began to explore themes of chance and destiny in her work, capturing the intertwining forces that governed their lives. Her canvases transformed, reflecting a bold fusion of chaos and order, a mirror to her soul's evolution. Meanwhile, Nathan found himself increasingly envious of Clara's vulnerability and passion. He realized that while he had constructed an enviable career, he had neglected the whispers of his own creativity. Inspired by Clara, he began to integrate more organic forms into his designs, allowing the spirit of the city to permeate his work. As their artistic pursuits flourished, they faced inevitable challenges. Clara struggled with self-doubt as her exhibition approached, feeling the weight of expectation pressing down upon her. Nathan, once a bastion of confidence, encountered skepticism from his peers as he deviated from convention, grappling with the fear that perhaps he was straying too far from the path of success. In a moment of frustration, Clara sought solace in her studio, pouring her heart into a painting that echoed her inner turmoil. As she stepped back, weary yet determined, a wave of realization enveloped her. Art was not merely about success or recognition, it was a journey of self-discovery. With newfound clarity, Clara invited Nathan to her studio, eager to share her latest creation. The raw emotion emanating from the canvas resonated with him, igniting a spark of inspiration. "This is not just a painting. It's a reflection of your journey," he observed, awestruck. Encouraged by Nathan's support, Clara decided to embrace the uncertainty surrounding her upcoming exhibition. She chose to view it as an opportunity for growth rather than a mere assessment of her talent. With this shift in mindset, she poured her heart into every brushstroke, transforming her fears into vibrant expressions of hope. Nathan, too, found courage as their friendship deepened. He began to present his unconventional designs to his colleagues, sharing his vision of merging nature with urban life. The initial reactions were mixed, but the seed of innovation had been planted. As the date of Clara's exhibition drew near, excitement mingled with apprehension. The night arrived, a cacophony of emotions swirling in the air. Friends, critics, and strangers gathered, eager to experience the culmination of Clara's artistic journey. The gallery buzzed with energy as guests wandered through the exhibits, their reactions fluctuating between admiration and surprise. Clara stood at the center, a whirlwind of nerves and anticipation. When a particularly discerning critic approached, her heart raced. But instead of criticism, he offered praise, recognizing the depth of emotion in her work. "Your paintings convey a profound understanding of the human experience," he remarked, leaving Clara momentarily speechless. The patronage she had longed for was finally within reach. The success of the exhibition solidified her belief that luck was merely the byproduct of hard work and unwavering dedication. Meanwhile, Nathan received news of a major project approval for a groundbreaking architectural design, his vision realized. As he celebrated this triumph, he reflected on the pivotal role Clara had played in rekindling his creativity. It was in this shared journey of discovery that they both found the courage to embrace possibilities beyond their comfort zones. Days turned into months as Clara and Nathan continued to support one another's endeavors. Their partnership transformed into a collaboration, merging art and architecture into a singular vision, a community project that would embody their shared beliefs in the power of luck and fate. With Clara's vibrant murals and Nathan's innovative designs, their collaboration flourished, drawing attention from both the art and architecture communities. As they stood before the finished project, an intricate blend of color and structure, they recognized the essence of their journey captured within its walls, two souls intertwined by chance, guided by the invisible thread of fate. Years later, as they reflected on their journey, they marveled at how a simple encounter had redirected their lives. Clara's once chaotic canvases now adorned galleries worldwide, while Nathan's architectural innovations had reshaped the skyline. Together, they had crafted a narrative that transcended the mundane, embracing the unpredictable dance of luck and fate. Their story became a testament that, while the universe may twirl its intricate dance, it is ultimately the choices we make that shape our destinies. In the end, Clara and Nathan learned that luck might set the stage, but it is fate, the decisions we embrace, the risks we take, that truly writes our narratives. Threads of Destiny. In the small town of Eldridge, where tales of luck and fate intertwined like the delicate threads of a spider's web, lived a woman named Clara. Known for her indomitable spirit and keen intuition, Clara believed that destiny was not merely a series of serendipitous events, but rather a tapestry woven from the choices one made. She often told her friends, "Luck is a fleeting breeze, but fate is a steadfast river." Clara's life had always been marked by a peculiar phenomenon. Whenever she faced dire straits, a stroke of good fortune would invariably come her way. Her friends marveled at her uncanny ability to attract opportunity, but Clara dismissed their admiration, attributing her circumstances to the unseen forces of fate. One day, as the sun painted the horizon with hues of orange and gold, Clara stumbled upon an old, dusty book in the attic of her grandmother's house. The cover, adorned with intricate designs, read, "Whispers of Fate." Intrigued, she opened it, only to find a collection of stories detailing the lives of those who had experienced profound changes due to a mere twist of fortune or a fateful encounter. As she delved deeper into the book, Clara discovered the tale of a young man named Elijah, whose life mirrored her own in startling ways. Like Clara, Elijah had faced trials that seemed insurmountable, yet each challenge was met with an unexpected blessing. However, unlike Clara, Elijah's awareness of his fate led him to take risks that would ultimately alter the course of his life forever. Inspired by Elijah's courage, Clara made a vow to embrace the uncertainty of life, to step beyond her comfort zone, and to confront the fates that awaited her. The next day, she decided to visit the local market, a vibrant hub of activity she had often avoided due to her shyness. As she entered the bustling square, the sounds of laughter and commerce enveloped her, invigorating her spirit. Amidst the crowd, Clara noticed a small stall adorned with colorful fabrics and trinkets. An elderly woman with twinkling eyes beckoned her over. "Ah, a kindred spirit. Would you like to know your fortune, dear?" Clara, taken aback yet fascinated, nodded. The woman took Clara's hands in hers and gazed intently into her eyes. "Your journey has just begun, child. Luck will smile upon you, but only if you dare to chase your dreams." With those enigmatic words, she handed Clara a small, vibrant stone, instructing her to keep it close as a reminder of the choices that lay ahead. Empowered by the whimsical encounter, Clara began to seek out opportunities around her. She enrolled in an art class, something she had longed to pursue but never dared. There, she met Samuel, a passionate artist whose expressive brushstrokes ignited a fire within her. Their friendship blossomed, and soon turned into a deep connection that felt destined. They spent evenings discussing their aspirations, and Samuel encouraged Clara to showcase her work. With each stroke of her brush, Clara poured her soul onto the canvas, capturing the essence of her emotions. She felt liberated, and in turn, her art flourished. A few months later, with Samuel's unwavering support, Clara held her first exhibition. The response was overwhelming. People were drawn to her unique style, and she sold several pieces, a true testament to the miracles that can arise when one dares to embrace their fate. Yet, just when everything seemed to be falling into place, an unexpected twist of fate struck. Samuel received a prestigious opportunity abroad, a chance to study under world-renowned artists. Torn between his dreams and their growing bond, he confided in Clara the weight of his decision. "I want to stay, but this is an opportunity like no other," he said, his voice laden with conflict. Clara felt a pang of loss at the thought of Samuel leaving. Yet, she understood that fate required embracing the unknown. "You must follow your path, Samuel. I believe in your journey, just as I hope you believe in mine," she responded, her heart heavy yet resolute. As the day of Samuel's departure approached, Clara felt a creeping sense of dread. Would their connection withstand the test of time and distance? The night before he left, they shared a quiet moment under the stars. "No matter where you go, remember that luck may favor the brave," Clara whispered, clutching the vibrant stone the old woman had gifted her. With tears in their eyes, they parted ways, an invisible thread of fate connecting them across the miles. Clara poured her heart into her art, each canvas a tribute to their time together. Months passed, and while Samuel thrived in his new environment, Clara felt a growing void within her. The ache of missing him was a constant companion, yet she clung fiercely to the belief that their destinies would intertwine once more. The day finally came when Samuel returned, transformed and bursting with stories of his adventures. As they reunited, Clara realized that while time had altered their lives, the essence of their connection remained unbroken. They rekindled their friendship, but Clara was no longer the timid woman she once was. She had grown, embracing her fate with open arms. With her art gaining recognition, Clara decided to create a collaborative exhibition, inviting Samuel to contribute his works alongside hers. The event was a celebration of their journeys, a testament to the interplay of luck and fate. As they stood together before the assembled crowd, Clara felt the invisible threads of their fate weaving a new narrative, one of partnership and shared dreams. Life continued to unfold with unpredictable twists. Clara faced setbacks, moments when her inspiration waned, and doubts clouded her mind. Yet, she learned to recognize the signs of opportunity lurking within those shadows. Each challenge became a stepping stone, guiding her toward the unfolding chapters of her life. Samuel remained her steadfast companion, offering encouragement and insight during difficult times. Years went by, and their bond deepened, culminating in a moment filled with the promises of tomorrow. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow over the world, Samuel took Clara's hand. "I realize now that luck is simply the result of embracing the journey that fate lays before us. I want to walk this path with you, always." With tears of joy streaming down her face, Clara said yes to a future intertwined with destiny. Together, they crafted a life rich in experiences, creativity, and love, their story a living testament to the delicate balance of luck and fate. As they grew old together, Clara often smiled at the whimsical twists that had shaped their lives. She knew that luck had played a part, but it was their courage to embrace the unknown that truly defined their journey. In the end, it was not just about fate, but the choices they had made along the way, an intricate tapestry of love, loss, and growth. And in the heart of Eldridge, where the threads of destiny are forever woven, Clara's story became a legend, reminding everyone that while luck may come and go, fate endures, guiding those who dare to chase their dreams. Whispers of Fortune, the interplay of luck and fate. In the quaint village of Eldenwood, serendipity danced in the air like the first breath of spring. The townsfolk often spoke of a hidden power that governed their lives, a force that intertwined chance and destiny. Among them was Alara, a dreamer with wild, untamed hair and eyes that sparkled with a haunting brilliance. She believed fervently in the notion that luck favored the bold, yet she was often a prisoner of her own hesitations. Alara's life was marked by a series of fortuitous events that seemed to propel her into the realm of the extraordinary, while also tethering her to the mundane. One fateful morning, as the sun cast a golden hue across the cobblestones, she stumbled upon an ancient amulet buried beneath the roots of a gnarled oak tree. The moment her fingers brushed against its surface, she felt an electric jolt that kindled a sense of purpose within her. The amulet was adorned with intricate symbols, each telling a story of epochs gone by. As Alara slipped it around her neck, whispers filled the air, resonating with the confluence of her past regrets and future aspirations. It was said that the bearer of the amulet could summon their destiny, but at a cost. a price to be paid in moments of their own happiness. Intrigued yet apprehensive, Alara sought the counsel of the village oracle, a wise woman named Agatha, who lived in a shack on the outskirts of Eldenwood. Agatha was known for her insights into the intricacies of life, often imparting wisdom shrouded in enigmas. When Alara presented the amulet, Agatha's eyes widened with recognition. "This is no ordinary trinket, child," she said, her voice a melody of gravitas. "It is a key to the gates of fortune, but remember, fate is a tempest, unpredictable and wild. To wield it is to invite chaos into your very soul." Undeterred, Alara returned to her daily life, the amulet now a constant reminder of the possibilities that danced just beyond her grasp. Days turned into weeks, and her dreams grew bolder. One evening, emboldened by the amulet's whispers, she decided to seize an opportunity that had long eluded her, the annual Eldenwood Fair, a gathering renowned for propelling ordinary lives into extraordinary tales. Under the twinkling stars, she unveiled her enchanting voice, singing songs that echoed through the hearts of the villagers. As she performed, she felt an exhilarating rush that seemed to erase her insecurities. A spectacle of emotions emanated from the crowd, each note tethering them to her essence. However, as the applause roared around her, a shadow fell over her heart. The price of the amulet began to weigh heavily. Days passed as Alara basked in the glow of her newfound fame, but with each moment of joy, a fragment of her own happiness slipped away. Melancholy settled in her chest like a winter fog, and she pondered the true nature of luck. Was she merely a marionette, dancing to the whims of fate, or was she craftily weaving her own tapestry? In her tight-knit community, Alara's transformation became a source of envy and adoration, yet the joy she once felt began to tarnish. Driven by desperation, she sought solace in Agatha's wisdom once more. "Have you come to understand the true weight of your fortune?" Agatha's voice was a gentle caress against Alara's turbulent thoughts. "I feel the disparity between my heart and my achievements," Alara confessed, her voice trembling. "Is it possible to embrace luck without surrendering my joy?" Agatha's gaze pierced the veil of time, and with a knowing sigh, she replied, "Luck and fate are but dances in an eternal waltz. Embrace both, for one cannot exist without the other. To find harmony, you must sacrifice and then reclaim." Taking her words to heart, Alara formulated a plan. She resolved to give back to the village that had nurtured her, knowing that in giving, she might rediscover her own happiness. She organized a series of charity events, utilizing her voice to raise funds for those in need, the elderly, the orphaned, and the lost. As she sang for these causes, the energy around her shifted. The more she gave, the more the shadows of her own discontent began to dissipate. Each note she shared was a thread of connection, weaving her back into the tapestry of Eldenwood. The laughter of children, the tears of gratitude from parents, and the warmth of the community enveloped her like a blanket of solace. In the process, she learned that luck is not merely a chance occurrence but a beautiful collaboration of one's choices and the universe's design. Alara began to see herself not as a victim of fate but as an active participant in her own story. The whispers of the amulet transformed from a haunting echo into a chorus of encouragement, guiding her toward a future filled with promise. With time, the amulet lost its grip on her soul. Alara understood that the true magic of life resides in authenticity, in aligning one's passions with a sense of purpose. The village of Eldenwood blossomed under her influence, and in return, she flourished. One crisp autumn morning, as leaves danced to the ground, Alara returned to the gnarled oak tree where her journey began. With a heart full of gratitude, she buried the amulet deep within the earth, offering it back to the universe. This act of release felt like shedding the weight of expectations, an embrace of the unknown path before her. As she stood, a gentle breeze rustled through the trees, a soft whisper of fortune brushing against her cheek. Luck and fate would continue their eternal dance, but now, Alara moved with confidence, ready to face whatever came her way. Her tale became a legend in Eldenwood, a reminder that life is not merely about the cards we are dealt, but how we choose to play them. With courage, joy, and love, she crafted a narrative that echoed through time, intertwining luck and fate in a celebration of the human spirit. In the end, it is not the amulet we wear, but the kindness we share that shapes our destiny. The Tapestry of Fortune, Weaving Luck and Fate. In the heart of an ancient city, where cobbled streets whispered tales of yore, there existed a small, inconspicuous bookstore named Elysian Pages. Beneath its humble facade lay a trove of wisdom and forgotten stories, each volume a portal into realms of imagination. Among the patrons who frequented this enclave was a man named Elias, whose life had always danced on the precipice of serendipity and misfortune. Elias was a philosopher at heart, often pondering the intricacies of luck and fate. To him, these twin forces intertwined like the threads of a complex tapestry, each influencing the other in ways beyond comprehension. With each visit to the bookstore, he sought not merely to escape reality but to understand the mysteries that governed his existence. One fateful afternoon, while perusing a shelf laden with dusty tomes, Elias stumbled upon a peculiar volume bound in deep blue leather. Its cover bore an intricate design that seemed to shimmer in the light, drawing him closer. As he opened it, an unexpected sensation coursed through him, a rush of warmth, as if the book itself were alive, eager to reveal its secrets. The title read, The Chronicles of Fortuna, a narrative that promised insights into the nature of luck and fate. Intrigued, Elias delved into its pages, discovering tales of individuals whose lives were forever altered by chance encounters and unexpected turns. He read of a young artist who, through a moment of sheer luck, stumbled upon her muse while wandering aimlessly through the city's bustling market. Captivated, Elias reflected on his own life. He had often played the puppet of fate, experiencing peaks of joy alongside valleys of despair. A series of unfortunate events had left him questioning whether he was a mere spectator in his life's grand performance or the conductor of his destiny. Gaining clarity, he made a vow to take control of his fate rather than let luck dictate his path. From that day forward, Elias approached life with a renewed fervor. He began documenting his thoughts, weaving them into stories that explored the delicate balance between chance and choice. He ventured into the community, engaging with others to gather their tales of luck and fate, discovering that each individual carried a unique piece of the puzzle. As weeks morphed into months, Elias's stories began to attract attention. People flocked to hear him speak, enchanted by his ability to articulate their own experiences. He shared tales of lost opportunities transformed into new beginnings and how moments of despair often birthed unexpected joys. The bookstore, once a mere refuge, now became a sanctuary where luck and fate danced together in harmonious unity. One evening, while addressing a crowd of eager listeners, a woman named Mara caught his eye. She possessed an air of mystery, her presence evoking an inexplicable connection. After his talk, they engaged in conversation, sharing their thoughts on luck and fate. Mara revealed her own journey, how a seemingly trivial decision to take a different route home had led her to a life-changing encounter with a mentor who opened doors she never knew existed. Their discussions deepened, and over time, a bond blossomed between them, rooted in their shared quest for understanding. Elias discovered that Mara was a writer, much like himself, exploring the same themes in her work. Together, they embarked on a collaborative project, combining their talents to create a narrative that intertwined their philosophies and experiences. As they wove their stories into a singular tapestry, something magical occurred. Each chapter resonated with their own journeys, illustrating how intertwined lives often create a web of fate. They explored the notion that while luck might offer opportunities, it was the choices one made that ultimately shaped destinies. However, the universe had more in store for Elias than mere literary fame. One stormy night, as he and Mara sat at the cafe that had become their second home, an unexpected phone call shattered their moment of camaraderie. Elias's estranged brother, with whom he had lost all contact, had been in an accident. The call bore the weight of dread, awakening wounds long buried. Elias was faced with a choice, a decision that could alter the trajectory of his life forever. As he drove through the rain-soaked streets, memories flooded back. His brother, once a source of joy and laughter, had drifted away, their bond severed by misunderstandings and pride. Elias grappled with his emotions, pondering whether this event was a cruel twist of fate or a chance for redemption. The night felt heavy with the weight of destiny, and he wondered if this was an opportunity to rewrite their story. In the hospital, faced with his brother's frail form, Elias experienced a surge of emotions, anger, regret, and an overwhelming desire for reconciliation. As he hovered over his brother's unconscious form, he was struck by the realization that fate could be swayed by the choices they made. He took a deep breath, ready to embrace forgiveness, understanding that luck alone would not repair the shattered pieces of their past. In the weeks that followed, Elias devoted himself to reconnecting with his brother, sharing the stories he had crafted with Mara. Through laughter and tears, they revisited their shared history, bridging the gulf that had distanced them for so long. It was in these moments of vulnerability that Elias understood the essence of luck. It wasn't merely about chance, It was about the courage to embrace change, to open oneself to the possibilities that fate presented. As their bond strengthened, Elias also realized that Mara had been a significant part of this transformation. He found himself drawn to her not just as a collaborator but as a kindred spirit. The chapters they wrote together began to reflect the metamorphosis of their lives, highlighting the importance of connection and the power of shared stories. Their collaboration became a metaphor for their journey, intertwining their fates in ways they never anticipated. The culmination of their work, titled Threads of Destiny, was celebrated in a grand event held at Elysian Pages. The bookstore, once a sanctuary of solitude, was now a vibrant hub of community, drawing people from all walks of life. The walls echoed with laughter, stories, and a shared appreciation for the complexities of existence. As the evening unfolded, Elias took a moment to reflect on the journey that had brought him here. Standing before an audience, he shared the essence of what he had learned, that luck and fate were not solitary forces but rather partners on the dance floor of life. He spoke of the importance of seizing opportunities, of embracing the unpredictable twists of fate, and of forging connections with others that could lead to profound change. Each person present was reminded that their stories were woven into the grand tapestry of existence, each thread significant and beautiful. Amidst the applause, Elias caught Mara's eye, their silent understanding evident in a shared smile. In that moment, he recognized that their journey, marked by serendipity, heartbreak, and ultimately, reunion, was an embodiment of the very narrative they had crafted together. It was a testament to the unpredictable nature of life, a reminder that while one may not control luck, one could always influence fate through the choices made and the connections fostered. As the night came to a close and the crowd dispersed, Elias and Mara stood together, contemplating the next chapter in their lives. The journey they had embarked upon was far from over, it was merely a new beginning. With intertwined destinies and a shared vision, they were ready to explore the uncharted territories of their futures, embracing whatever fortune and fate had in store. As the stars twinkled above the ancient city, Elias understood that life was a beautiful tapestry, rich with the threads of luck and fate, each person a unique pattern contributing to the grand design. With renewed hope, he ventured into the night, ready to embrace the adventures that awaited them, knowing that together, they could navigate the intricate dance of destiny. The Dance of Fortune and Destiny. In the quaint village of Elderswood, nestled between ancient, whispering woods and the rolling hills, a curious tale unfolded, a narrative woven with threads of luck and fate. The villagers believed that every twist of their lives was orchestrated by the unseen hands of these two powerful entities. Yet, one particular day would challenge the very fabric of their beliefs, forever entwining the dance of fortune and destiny in a way no one could have predicted. At the heart of Elderswood lived a young woman named Alara. She was known for her kindness and intellect, but also for an inherent misfortune that seemed to shadow her every endeavor. Despite her efforts, luck perpetually eluded her. If she planted a garden, it was invariably trampled by wild animals. If she pursued a craft, it would invariably go awry. Nonetheless, Alara possessed an unyielding spirit, believing that one day fate would smile upon her. One crisp autumn morning, as the leaves danced in hues of gold and crimson, Alara set out to gather herbs in the forest. This was her sanctuary, where the air was thick with the scent of pine and the whispers of the wind. Among the trees, she stumbled upon a curious relic, a shimmering stone, pulsing with an ethereal glow. Alara felt an inexplicable draw to it and, without hesitation, pocketed the stone, unaware of its profound significance. As night fell, the villagers gathered for the harvest festival, a celebration filled with laughter, music, and tales of old. Alara, too, joined the revelry, the excitement brightening her spirits. She shared her discovery of the stone with her closest friend, Marcus, who was known for his skepticism. "It's just a rock, Alara," he chuckled, "nothing more than a trinket." Yet, that night, as she clutched the stone under the twinkling stars, a fascinating event unfolded. A sudden gust of wind swept through the festival, carrying with it an air of anticipation. The stone began to glow even brighter, and in that moment, Alara felt a rush of energy coursing through her. As if guided by invisible hands, she found herself dancing with an elegant grace that astonished the villagers. For the first time, luck was on her side. As days turned into weeks, Alara discovered that the stone endowed her with newfound abilities. Her gardens flourished, her crafts excelled, and her laughter resonated throughout Elderswood. However, with every act of prosperity, whispers of suspicion grew among the townsfolk. They wondered if this newfound luck was truly a blessing or a curse bestowed by fate itself. Amidst the growing unease, a rival arose. Anwen, a woman of sharp intellect and envy, could not bear to see Alara thrive. Fueled by jealousy, Anwen sought to investigate the origins of Alara's fortune. In her relentless pursuit, she uncovered the truth about the shimmering stone, a relic said to be a fragment of a long-forgotten legend. It was said to bring luck to its possessor, but at a dire cost. It could twist the very fabric of fate. Determined to reclaim her position in the village, Anwen devised a plan to confront Alara. Under the guise of friendship, she invited Alara for tea, pretending to celebrate her success. Yet, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Anwen's true intentions surfaced. "Tell me, Alara, how do you manage such extraordinary feats? What secret do you harbor?" she pressed, her voice laced with malice. Alara, still naive to the dark intrigue surrounding her, shared the story of the stone. As soon as the words left her lips, Anwen's eyes gleamed with avarice. "Perhaps I could help you, if you were to share the stone with me," she suggested, a sly smile playing on her lips. Refusing to yield, Alara expressed her belief that the stone's power belonged to her alone. This declaration ignited a fire within Anwen, who, seething with anger, vowed to reclaim what she believed was rightfully hers. The tension in Elderswood escalated. Fate seemed to draw a line between the two women, each embodying different aspects of the same struggle, ambition and humility. Anwen, in her quest for power, concocted a scheme to exact revenge on Alara. She would manipulate events to turn the villagers against her, revealing the true cost of the enchantment. As fateful occurrences began to unfold, strange mishaps plagued Alara. Her crops wilted overnight, and her once blooming garden turned to dust. The villagers, once her friends, now cast suspicious glances at her, whispering about the dark magic they believed she had invoked. Consumed by despair, Alara held the stone close, praying for clarity. One fateful night, as she wandered through the woods, the stone began to resonate with a haunting melody. In its glow, she saw a vision, a woman cloaked in shadows, revealing the intertwined paths of luck and fate. The apparition whispered to Alara, "Fortune is a fickle companion, but true destiny lies in understanding the balance between gratitude and greed." With this revelation, Alara understood that her journey was not merely about luck. It was about the choices she made and the connections she forged. Empowered, she returned to the village, prepared to confront Anwen and the chaos that had ensued. The next day, at the community gathering, Alara stood before her fellow villagers. With unwavering resolve, she spoke of the true nature of her success, not merely the stone, but the support and love of her friends and family. She urged everyone to reflect on their own lives, to consider the impact of their actions and intentions. As her words resonated among the villagers, Anwen stood at the edge of the crowd, discontent brewing within her. The realization that her envy had driven a wedge between her and Alara began to dawn on her, igniting a flicker of regret. In a moment of vulnerability, Alara approached Anwen. "We all seek our own fortunes," she said gently, "but is it worth the cost of losing those we cherish?" Her empathy struck a chord, and the village fell silent. Anwen, grappling with her emotions, finally confessed to her jealousy and manipulation. In that profound moment of truth, the villagers, once torn, began to unite, recognizing the interdependence of their lives. They learned that luck does not exist in isolation. It is the collective strength and support that uplifts them all. With Anwen's admission, the stone's glow dimmed, signaling the end of its enchantment. Alara, now knowing the stone's true nature, decided to return it to the earth, burying it beneath an ancient oak tree, a symbol of her growth. From that day forward, Elderswood thrived not just on the fortunes of one, but on the shared fate of many. Alara and Anwen mended their relationship, finding strength in their differences and forging an enduring friendship that would inspire generations to come. The village carried on, embracing the elegant dance of luck and fate, understanding that both are essential in shaping the tapestry of life, reminding them that it is not fortune alone that defines their path, but the choices they make and the love they cultivate along the way. And so, in the heart of Elderswood, amid laughter and joy, destiny was rewritten, not by a single stone, but by the bonds of humanity that truly illuminate the way. The serendipitous convergence. On a brisk autumn morning in the quaint town of Eldridge, a place where time seemed to meander lazily, two souls unknowingly stood on the precipice of transformation. Eleanor, a meticulous librarian with an insatiable appetite for literature, often found solace within the pages of her beloved books. Conversely, Daniel, a hapless artist with an unpredictable streak of misfortune, wandered through life, perpetually skirting the edges of success yet never quite obtaining his coveted dreams. The tranquility of Eldridge was shattered one fateful afternoon when Eleanor stumbled across an unassuming antique shop nestled between two towering oaks. The shop, suffused with an air of mystery, beckoned her inside. Dust motes danced in the golden light filtering through the grimy windows, hinting at the wealth of stories hidden within the relics. Amongst the clutter, she found an ornate locket, its intricate design whispering echoes of bygone eras. Intrigued by its beauty, she purchased it, unknowingly igniting a chain of events that would intertwine her destiny with Daniel's. Meanwhile, Daniel sat in his cluttered studio, staring at a blank canvas, his inspiration eluding him. The weight of the world seemed to rest upon his shoulders, an unforgiving mentor teaching him lessons of resilience through repeated failure. On that very day, as he sought to channel his frustration into art, his gaze drifted to the window. He spied a flash of brilliance, Eleanor, clutching the locket, radiating a serene charm that captivated him instantly. The two fates collided at the annual autumn festival, where the townsfolk gathered to celebrate the harvest and partake in revelry. Eleanor had resolved to attend, her heart fluttering with excitement at the prospect of mingling amongst friends. Unbeknownst to her, Daniel had set up a stall, hoping to sell his latest paintings to a town that had overlooked his talent for far too long. As twilight descended, enveloping the festival in a warm embrace, Eleanor wandered toward Daniel's stall. The moment her eyes fell upon his artwork, she felt an undeniable connection, as though the pieces spoke to her own hidden aspirations. Intrigued, she approached, and for the first time, Daniel felt the stirrings of hope. Their conversation flowed effortlessly, the allure of fate wrapping around them like a gossamer thread. Over the weeks that followed, Eleanor and Daniel became inseparable. They shared their dreams, fears, and obsessions, forging a bond that was both profound and unsettling. With every passing day, Eleanor's belief in the unpredictability of life grew. She encouraged Daniel to embrace his creativity, asserting that the world was indeed a splendid tapestry woven from both chance and choice. Daniel, in turn, inspired her to step beyond the confines of her predictable existence, to dare to dream. However, as their relationship blossomed, so too did the specter of doubt. Eleanor's meticulous nature often clashed with Daniel's whimsical spirit. She found herself at a crossroads, caught between the order she cherished and the chaos Daniel embodied. In an impulsive moment, she gifted him the locket, believing it to be a conduit for good fortune. But fate is a fickle mistress. In a cruel twist, Daniel's art was met with a scathing critique from a visiting gallery owner who happened to attend the festival. Disheartened, he questioned his worth and resolved to abandon his artistic pursuits altogether. Frustrated with his reluctance to fight against the tides of fate, Eleanor confronted him. Their argument was fierce, fueled by the fears they both harbored. She demanded he reclaim his destiny, while he implored her to understand his struggles. The fracture between them widened, straining the bond they had forged. Amidst the turmoil, an unexpected turn of events beckoned. The antique locket, heavy with significance, slipped from Daniel's hands and shattered on the ground, scattering its delicate pieces like shattered dreams. It was at that moment that he stumbled upon a small, intricately carved wooden box hidden beneath the remnants of the locket. Inside lay an old photograph of a woman resembling Eleanor, holding a vibrant canvas that looked strikingly similar to Daniel's own artwork. The realization crashed down upon him. This was no ordinary locket, it was a symbol of their intertwined destinies. Determined to mend the rift, Daniel embarked on a journey of self-discovery, confronting the demons that had haunted him for far too long. Meanwhile, Eleanor took a step back, reassessing her life's path. Each faced their own fate, one characterized by courage, the other by reflection. Months passed, and the locket's shards transformed into a catalyst for change. Daniel found himself reignited by the passion of creation. His new series of paintings, each an exploration of abstract emotion, captivated the attention of critics and collectors. Eleanor, too, ventured beyond the library's confines, immersing herself in community projects that encouraged creativity and expression. When they finally crossed paths again, it was under dramatically different circumstances. The air crackled with tension, but beneath it lay a current of unspoken understanding. Both had evolved, embracing the unpredictable nature of their lives and the serendipity that had brought them together. In that moment, they realized that luck and fate were not mere spectators in their lives, they were participants in a grand dance, guiding them toward an uncertain yet exhilarating future. With their hearts intertwined and soulful resolve, they embarked on a new journey, one not defined by the past, but illuminated by the light of possibility. And so, in the heart of Eldridge, amidst the fading autumn leaves, Eleanor and Daniel discovered that their paths, once fractured, had merged into a singular narrative of hope, resilience, and the remarkable twists of fate. They learned that the confluence of luck and destiny was not a matter of chance, but a masterpiece crafted from courage, creativity, and the infinite potential of love. The threads of luck and fate. In a small, unassuming town nestled between rolling hills and winding rivers, the balance between luck and fate played out in the lives of its residents. Here, every choice was a dance with destiny, and every random occurrence was a twist of fortune. Among the townsfolk, two individuals stood out: Evelyn, a meticulous librarian with a penchant for order, and Leo, a free spirit whose life resembled a tapestry woven with threads of spontaneity. Evelyn believed fervently in the power of preparation. Every morning, she would rise with the sun, her routine perfectly calibrated to ensure she maximized each hour. Her life was a testament to the idea that hard work and foresight could pave the way to success. Books lined her shelves, meticulously organized by genre, author, and even color. To her, chaos was an enemy to be vanquished. Yet, despite her dedication, she often felt that an invisible force was thwarting her ambitions, leaving her longing for something beyond her careful plans. In stark contrast, Leo lived by the whims of serendipity. His days were filled with unexpected adventures, a chance encounter at a coffee shop that led to a road trip, or a random conversation with a stranger that blossomed into a lifelong friendship. Luck, for Leo, was not merely a concept, it was the very fabric of his existence. He thrived on spontaneity, believing that fate always had a plan for those willing to embrace the unknown. Their paths intertwined one fateful evening at the town's annual fair, a vibrant celebration that lit up the night sky with colors and laughter. Evelyn had reluctantly agreed to attend, convinced that her presence would be a detour from her well-structured evening of reading. Meanwhile, Leo saw the fair as another opportunity to experience life in all its unpredictability. As fireworks burst above, their eyes met across a crowded stall filled with shimmering trinkets. Leo, with his tousled hair and infectious smile, approached Evelyn, who was nervously adjusting her glasses. "Are you here to seek out the hidden treasures or to bury yourself in the mundane?" he teased. Evelyn seized the moment, her irritation at his flippant tone momentarily overshadowed by an inexplicable curiosity. "I'm here as a part of community duty," she replied, masking her attraction to his wild spirit with a veneer of seriousness. What began as a contentious conversation soon evolved into an exhilarating exchange of ideas. They debated the merits of structure versus chaos, each advocating for their way of life. As the night deepened, the air thick with the scent of cotton candy and laughter, it became clear that their differing philosophies, though contrasting, sparked an unexpected chemistry. In the following weeks, Leo introduced Evelyn to the joys of spontaneity, surprise picnics at the lake, impromptu dance parties, and late-night stargazing. Each adventure unraveled the tightly wound threads of her existence, prompting her to question if perhaps fate was not just a series of events to be orchestrated, but a series of moments to be savored. Conversely, Evelyn grounded Leo, introducing him to the beauty of planning and the joy of anticipation. He discovered that some adventures were even more fulfilling when they were meticulously crafted, each detail a brushstroke on the canvas of their experiences. Together, they navigated a delicate balance, Evelyn finding freedom within structure, and Leo discovering the peace in a well-laid plan. As their bond deepened, they found themselves entwined in a narrative far richer than either had anticipated. Yet their contrasting truths began to clash as the invisible threads of fate wove themselves tighter around their lives. Evelyn received an offer for her dream job, a prestigious position in a renowned library across the country. The opportunity was a culmination of her diligence and careful planning, yet it required leaving behind the town and, more importantly, Leo. Evelyn struggled with the decision, torn between the ambition she had nurtured for years and the burgeoning connection with Leo that felt destined. She pondered, was this her moment of triumph, or merely a reflection of her fear to embrace the unknown? Leo, on the other hand, faced a different dilemma. Encouraging Evelyn to pursue her dreams stirred a sense of impending loss within him. He had always lived in the moment, yet the thought of her absence felt like a chasm opening beneath him. As days turned into nights, they found solace in their shared moments, a mixture of laughter and uncertainty. Each conversation grew heavier with the weight of unspoken fears. Could luck sustain the love they had nurtured? Or was it fate drawing them apart, insisting that their paths diverge for reasons yet unknown? On the night before Evelyn's departure, they stood beneath the stars, a blanket of darkness enveloping them. "What if I never find my way back?" Evelyn whispered, her voice trembling with vulnerability. "Then we'll create a path," Leo replied softly, taking her hand in his. "Even if distance separates us, know this, fate has a way of weaving lives together. Trust in that." Their embrace lingered, a silent promise of hope against the looming uncertainty. In that moment, they understood that life was not merely about choices or chance. It was a tapestry, intricate and beautiful, woven with threads of fate and luck. As the months unfolded, the distance tested their connection. Letters filled with anecdotes of new adventures and the ache of absence flowed between them, a lifeline that bridged their worlds. Evelyn thrived in her new role, her dreams finally within reach, yet her heart often drifted back to the small town and the vibrant spirit of the man who had ignited a flame of adventure within her. Leo, too, found himself transformed by their experiences. His days were filled with spontaneity, but the absence of Evelyn made each spontaneous act feel incomplete. He often wandered to the fairground, reminiscing about their first meeting, hoping that fortune would smile upon him once more. Then, one autumn evening, a letter arrived, a simple envelope, yet it bore the weight of their shared memories. Inside, Evelyn had penned her thoughts, each word a brushstroke of vulnerability and hope. She spoke of longing, of dreams woven with memories of laughter, and a desire to find a way back to the place where it all began. In that moment of reading, Leo felt as if the universe had conspired to align their destinies once more. With newfound determination, he packed his belongings and set off to find her, embracing the unpredictability of the journey. The reunion was nothing short of serendipitous. As Leo stepped into the town square, he found Evelyn surrounded by the vibrant colors of the fair, the very essence of their shared love. Their eyes met, and in that glance, they understood that fate had brought them together not to part, but to unite their worlds. "Are you here to stay for the fair?" She laughed, her heart racing at the sight of him. "Only if you promise to dance with me under the stars," Leo replied, his grin infectious. With laughter echoing in the crisp night air, they embraced, understanding that their journey would always be a dance between luck and fate, a beautiful paradox filled with the promise of adventure. And so, as they twirled beneath the stars, they discovered that true fulfillment lay not in the certainty of outcomes, but in the embrace of the unknown, woven together by the delicate threads of both luck and fate, creating a tapestry rich with love, dreams, and infinite possibilities. The Serendipitous Dilemma. In the quaint village of Eldon Grove, fate weaved its intricate tapestry through the lives of its inhabitants. Nestled between rolling hills and whispering forests, this idyllic settlement thrived on the delicate balance of luck and destiny. The townsfolk believed that every twist of fortune was guided by unseen hands, yet they were also aware that the choices they made could alter their paths forever. At the heart of Eldon Grove lived Eleanor, a young woman known for her unwavering optimism. With hair that shimmered like spun gold and an infectious smile that illuminated even the darkest corners, Eleanor was a beacon of hope. Yet, despite her sunny disposition, she often found herself grappling with the concept of fate. Was her life a mere consequence of her choices, or were the currents of luck steering her toward an unseen destination? One crisp autumn morning, with leaves painted in hues of amber and crimson, Eleanor stumbled upon an antique shop while wandering through town. Inside, the air was thick with the scent of aged wood and forgotten dreams. Her eyes landed on a curious trinket, a delicate hourglass, its sand glimmering like stardust. The shopkeeper, an enigmatic figure with wise eyes, noticed her fascination. "This hourglass," he said, his voice a hushed whisper, "is said to grant a single wish, a chance to alter the course of your fate. But be wary, for wishes often come with unexpected consequences." Eleanor's heart raced at the prospect. What if she could rewrite her story? After much contemplation, she decided to seize the moment. With a deep breath, she made her wish, her words laced with both hope and trepidation. "I wish for the ability to understand the secrets of fate and luck." In an ethereal whirl, the hourglass shimmered, and Eleanor felt a strange energy envelop her. Suddenly, the world around her transformed. She could see threads of fate weaving through the lives of everyone she encountered. Each thread pulsed with color, reflecting the choices made and the fortunes bestowed upon them. Overwhelmed by this newfound insight, Eleanor wandered through the village, deciphering the hidden patterns of luck. She witnessed a baker, his golden loaves emerging triumphantly from the oven, blessed by a fortunate hand. Nearby, a fisherman cast his net, his bounty abundant, guided by the tides of chance. Yet, she also observed the darker strands, a widow clutching her memories, haunted by a twist of fate that left her lonely and broken. As days turned into weeks, Eleanor became increasingly absorbed in this intricate web of existence. She sought to help her neighbors, to manipulate the threads of their destinies, believing she could grant them the luck they deserved. She encouraged the baker to experiment with new recipes, leading to a flourishing business. She taught the fisherman to navigate the unpredictable waters with confidence, resulting in a bountiful harvest. However, with each act of benevolence, Eleanor noticed an unsettling change within herself. The more she intervened, the more she felt the weight of responsibility. The fates of others were now intricately linked to her actions, and the consequences of her well-intentioned meddling began to surface. The baker's success attracted envy, stirring conflict among the townsfolk. The fisherman's wealth drew the eye of unscrupulous merchants, endangering his livelihood. As chaos began to ripple through Eldon Grove, Eleanor fell into despair. She had sought to harness luck for good, yet it seemed her desire to play God had only led to disarray. It was then, amid her turmoil, that the shopkeeper's words echoed in her mind: wishes often come with unexpected consequences. Determined to amend her mistakes, Eleanor returned to the antique shop, the hourglass clutched tightly in her hands. The shopkeeper awaited her, a knowing glimmer in his eyes. "You seek to undo what has been done," he remarked. "Yes," she replied, her voice trembling. "I wish to return things to how they were before, to relinquish this power and allow fate to take its course." With a solemn nod, the shopkeeper directed her to turn the hourglass. As she did, she felt the world shift once again, the threads of fate unraveling and reweaving with grace. The turmoil dispersed, leaving behind a sense of tranquility. The village returned to its former state, and the townsfolk resumed their lives, blissfully unaware of the chaos that had briefly engulfed them. In the aftermath, Eleanor stood at the edge of Eldon Grove, the sun setting behind her. She had learned a valuable lesson about the nature of luck and fate. Life was a dance, unpredictable yet beautiful. Each person's journey was a myriad of choices and chances, and interference, no matter how well-intentioned, could disrupt the delicate balance of existence. As the stars began to twinkle above, Eleanor embraced the uncertainty of her life, ready to navigate the currents of fate with humility and grace. No longer did she yearn for control. Instead, she would celebrate the serendipitous moments as they came, cherishing the intricate tapestry of her own destiny. In Eldon Grove, the villagers resumed their routines, blissfully unaware of the shifts that had transpired. Yet, Eleanor, with her renewed perspective, found joy in the mundane, in the laughter shared with friends, the warmth of community, and the small strokes of luck that colored every day. Her heart brimmed with gratitude for the beautiful unpredictability of life, where even the smallest moments could hold the deepest significance. Thus, under the sprawling sky, Eleanor embraced her fate and stepped forward into a world brimming with possibilities, aware that sometimes, luck truly is just a matter of perspective.